Now that Ohio Governor Mike DeWine has nominated who he wants to be his right-hand man, what is the process of solidifying Jim Tressel as John Husted's replacement? Our political analyst from the University of Akron, political science professor Dr. David Cohen, is here now to explain and shed light on maybe why DeWine has chosen Tressel and nominated him to become lieutenant governor. Dr. Cohen, first off, now that DeWine has nominated former YSU president and football coach Jim Tressel, what's the process for Ohio lawmakers? How do they weigh in on this choice?
Sure. Thanks for having me. The nomination has to go to the Ohio House and the Ohio Senate, and it's just a simple majority vote to confirm him as the lieutenant governor. My guess is that Governor DeWine has already cleared the field, so to speak, and checked with the leaders of both of those bodies to see if there were any red flags to him appointing Jim Tressel. And my guess is the nomination just sails through both chambers.
What do you think he maybe saw in Tressel? Why do you think he might have picked him?
Well, I think Tressel's a really fascinating choice. First of all, he wasn't on anybody's radar, and his nomination is a bit of a surprise. But he is someone that is a well-known figure in Ohio. He is, of course, the former Ohio State football coach. Beloved, won national championship and a 9-1 record against the University of Michigan, puts him in good standing with most Ohioans. He was also, I think more importantly though, the president of Youngstown State University for 9 years. It's a big public university, and it's an important job, and one that requires not only managing a big budget, but also being able to balance a lot of stakeholders, not only within a university community, but also, beyond in the city of Youngstown, and more importantly, probably with the Ohio legislature. And so as a college president, there's no question that Tressel learned a lot about not only politics, but also, the capital budget, which is something that's so important for the governor's office.
And Ohio AG Dave Yost already announced he's running for governor once DeWine's term is up. Presumed candidate Vivek Ramaswamy could also be in the mix. Do you believe that they could be going up against Tressel?
That's unclear. At first, when I heard about the announcements, I thought, well, this is simply going to be a placeholder appointment, somebody that has a lot of credibility, that's kind of beloved in the state, that's just going to serve their, 2 years and then be done, with public service. Tressel's not really a spring chicken. He's 72 years old. I thought, when he left Youngstown State, that maybe he was just going to settle into retirement. Obviously, he's being brought out of retirement for this. And he did not explicitly rule out maybe running for office after this term as lieutenant governor is over. He's a very interesting guy in that, you'd be hard pressed to really figure out what his politics are. In the research I did today on Tressel's political background, I couldn't find anything about whether or not he was a Democrat or a Republican. Right. You can certainly do that through voting records, but he's certainly not somebody that is a partisan or ideological warrior. And I think it's really interesting that Governor DeWine chose somebody in this very partisan moment that the country is in, somebody that is clearly not a partisan, and somebody that has a lot of respect and a lot of goodwill on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah, he's kept it pretty close to the vest, as some would say. Well, he has a big statewide ID, like you mentioned. We'll see what the Democrats do if they look to counter this with other candidates in the race, but that's a ways down. Definitely want to have you join us again on this topic soon. Thank you so much for being here and helping us out.
Thank you for having me.